Man, it has been a while since I've seen that that little intro. Welcome to Soul Calibur 2. We're going to be doing the Weapon Master mode today, but I did want to show that intro. And as for the different characters you see, probably the only one that most people from my channel, since I'm very heavily Nintendo-based, is the fact that Link is in this game. He is playable in this game. As you can see, in the arcade mode, he is right here. Because this was a game that was initially for arcades, along with the first one, and I believe at least one more. But the second in a long time running series, and Soul Calibur 6 is coming out soon, and it looks very, very cool. I'm very excited for it. You'd also give him the red tunic. There's other costume options that you'll unlock by playing through Weapon Master mode. But unless you played the Soul Calibur series, you probably don't recognize any of these other characters. Regardless, this was Link's only debut in Soul Calibur, and probably, unfortunately, will be his only one, because he is exclusive to the console that you play on, in this case, the GameCube version. This game came out on GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. For PS2, Heihachi was your main not custom character, but your character exclusive character, and Spawn, the comic book character Spawn, was from Xbox, but people generally seem to agree that Link was probably the best of those three in terms of character for, built for the game, and also for how he worked as a character. Spawn being very weak and not having that many combos, and Heihachi having absolutely zero range. Regardless, I'm not going to get into the backstories of these characters too much because it would take way too long, and it would be quite a mess. So, the long and short of the story is there are two swords that everybody seeks to gain ultimate power. Soul Calibur and Soul Edge. And Soul Calibur, which the game is named after, even though the initial game was Soul Edge, is kind of considered the quote-unquote good sword, while Soul Edge is considered the evil one, though both, because they have extreme amounts of power, are often capable of corrupting the soul, such as this guy right here, Nightmare. You aren't going to be able to see a proper one of him, but he was actually Siegfried in the original game, and he was corrupted by the sword that he found in order to try to avenge his dead father, I believe. Again, it's been a long time since I played, but he was corrupted by the sword, and that's why he is Nightmare now. So the idea is many of the people are searching for Soul Edge and trying to beat Nightmare, whether to destroy it, to take the power for themselves, so on and so forth. Today, though, we're going to be playing through Weapon Master, where we travel the lands collecting weapons. Probably the best story mode that Soul Calibur has ever really seen. Now, myself, I've only played the story for 2, 4, and 5, but I've heard 3's not that great, and I know 4 and 5 aren't that great, so from what I've played, this is the best story mode for your money. Chosen by history, a man becomes a warrior. Engraved into history, a warrior becomes a hero. Transcending history in the world, a tale of souls and swords eternally retold. Countless legends surround a sword known as Soul Edge. Some claim it to be the ultimate weapon. Others refer to it as the Sword of Heroes, a phantom sword with immeasurable power of the spirits, the key to eternal youth, a treasure without equal. Wow, that goes by quickly. Sword both bone from human hands came to life and began devouring the souls after bathing in human blood countless times. Around the same time, a spirit sword called Soul Calibur mysteriously appeared, almost as if to counter the call of the evil blade. I guess I'll just say what I can. All throughout human history, men have craved adventure. Human qualities such as greed, curiosity, interesting minds, or questing minds are intimately interwoven with history and drive it onward. Men saw Soul Edge as the ultimate prize, rumor surrounding the demonic sword. The era was the era was inundated with clashes of battles of people that roam for Soul Calibur. Their story is to unfold. The story to unfold is of one such warrior. It says one such warrior. You can actually switch between characters at any time that you like, so you're not stuck with one character. And because of some of the challenges in Weapon Master, that is a very good thing. In Weapon Master mode, press start to open up the command menu. Various controls such as character and weapon changes can be performed in the command menu. Yes, there are different weapons you can pick, of course. It's possible for you to change the character in Weapon Master mode. The character you choose is up to you. Select a character that is most appropriate for the mission to ease your quest, or for an additional challenge, select a character that is least favorable for the mission. One of the challenges in Weapon Master is collecting the bounty of different weapons. Sorry about that, trying to avoid the hiccups. In Weapon Master mode, you can use any of the weapons in your possession. Moreover, you can use the weapons you collected in the extra modes. That includes anything that's not classic mode. If you're playing like the classic arcade mode where I was showing off the character list, you're going to be using the default weapons for them. There are numerous secret features in Weapon Master mode, but it's up to you to find them. Good luck. So, a lot of people will play this first, because if you're doing any of the extra modes, this is where you're going to get your weapons, your costumes, and some characters as well. I'm going to crank up the volume a little bit here. Try that and see how it works. But as you can see, there are 5 characters that are locked right now, and you'll have to unlock them. So I could be picking. I'm gonna pick Link, but for reference's sake, your characters that you have are Raphael, Talim, Cassandra, Yunsung, Mitsurugi, Taki, Voldo, Nightmare, Keelik, Cassandra, Maxi, Astroth, Ivy, Link, of course, and Necrid. I will be going with Link because that is the only playstyle I remember relatively well. Back when I used to play this a lot, Keelik, Nightmare, Raphael a little bit, and a character that we have not seen yet were kind of my main 4 characters, but I will warn you, I have never played this professionally, and I have not played this game in years, so if you were looking for quality gameplay, I would suggest you look elsewhere. Chapter 1, Regulus Proving Grounds. You stood before the entrance to the Proving Grounds in the land of Regulus, famous for its skilled swordsmen. You predicted that your journey to find the legendary ultimate sword Soul Edge would likely be a difficult one. Therefore, you traveled to Regulus in order to polish your fighting skills before setting off on your quest. After passing through the gate, you found a man standing before you, blocking your path. Halt, you who seek mastery of the way of the warrior. We have no interest in those of lack of potential. First, you must prove your worth. It seemed you had to fight this man to prove your strength and determination. Seeing you take hold of your weapon without a moment's hesitation, the man grinned and said, "Well, looks like we've got a lively one here. Good, I think this one's got some promise." So we'll start in Regulus. And as you can see, you can't move, so you do actually have to complete most of these challenges to get through. There are like little side chapters you can do, which I will probably be doing, but we're going to start with the Proving Grounds. Clear all the exercises. I could go over all these, but that would take a long time, and I kind of want to get to at least a little bit of showing the game. So this is basically your tutorial level. There's a lot of story to this, I just don't want to show all of it. So, A is your horizontals. Keep in mind, this is initially on arcade, so A is your horizontals, B is your verticals, and B in this case is guard for the GameCube controller, so Y is actually what you're looking for verticals. K is kick, which is X. G is guard, which is B. Run around by holding down the control pad. In this case, it's just the analog stick. AG or BG to throw your opponent. In this case, that's either Y and R or A and R. Guard impact. So he's going to show us how it's done. So you can repel or parry the opponent's attacks by pressing G with left or right at the control pad at the same time. So in this case, it's kind of like hitting the direction that you're getting faced by and A at the same time. Picture like a smash attack from the original or Melee or Brawl whenever you're doing it without using the C stick. There we go. Oh, it's actually R. Excuse me. It's not B. It's R. And then Soul Charge is supposed to be A, B, and K. You can just hit up on the C stick for that. So there you go. That's your very basic moveset. Really, a lot of it just comes with experimenting and, you know, how you want to do it. Extra practice mode. That's awesome. Really, that's just used for trying out the different weapons, more so than practicing in a fight. Utilize all that you learned to defeat the enemies. Having completed your basic training, you advanced to the Proving Grounds. So they add more training in. Alright, here we go. Utilize all you learned to defeat all the enemies. Now, playing Link has a massive advantage, and I do want to show this off because this is a 3-on-1 battle. And that's that if you get near the edge, wait for him to come over, His throw is incredibly strong in terms of how much it can send the opponent flying. So if you're near the stage and you throw the enemy, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to survive. They're probably going to fall off the stage. Also, using Y does actually give you a different throw, so keep that in mind. Like so. That throw will never get old. So yes, whenever you complete a fight and actually win, if it's a multi-stage fight, sometimes you'll get health and time back. In most cases in Weapon Master, should you run out of time, you are going to lose. Even if you have more health, you will still lose. Here's Warriors Trial Grounds. Also, if you go back, you can see your record. So this is, wins and then overall plays. So you can see which stages gave you the most trouble. You can actually hit AX or Y there. That's how you get Link to talk. The only reason that character in particular is this guy will be your rival throughout the game. And your rival is actually determined by who you select. If you play through the arcade mode, you'll find that there are what they call legendary battles. I think. But it's basically a rival battle. Picture like rival battle from Pokemon. Still a newcomer, but we beat the entire chapter. Lakeside Coliseum has been added, which of course is the stage we just played on. So, if you want an easier time with your rivals, if there's somebody you know that it's really easy to beat, you could pick that character that they're rival to, and then just have to face them every time with a different character. So, if you're, if it's really easy for you to beat Astaroth, you could pick Maxie for your character at the start of the game, and then immediately switch over to Link. And then you could fight Astaroth as Link, instead of having to fight Raphael. If you're in search of the Soul Edge, you should head east. Past the land of Thuban lies the free city of Benetnach, I guess. Benetnach. I'm going to guess Benetnach. With its never-ending flow of people, perhaps you can gather information there. Following Edgar's advice, you set off towards the east. You do not know if you'd really find information about Soul Edge in Benetnach or not, but it was better than wandering aimlessly. You turn to look back just once. You win, but this time, said Leon after the battle, but I'll catch up to you soon. Tomorrow I'm going to take the test again. Oh, and I've heard that you're searching for the Soul Edge. If that's the case, then we'll surely meet again. It seems we're rivals with the same goal. I'll be looking forward to our next encounter. You face forward again and begun to walk. Your journey had begun. See, now this is a good example of wanting to switch characters right here. I'm going to be switching to Keelik for this. Land 20 hits on the enemy and survive the round. This does not mean you're going to kill the enemy. In fact, it will do almost no damage. You just have to land the 20 hits. The problem is your timer is very small. So, as a result, Keelik has an attack that lands a lot of hits, and Link doesn't really have that. The closest you get is there's like a multi-stab attack he can do, but it's kind of hard to pull off. Keelik, however, can just do this. Yes, he can get hit. Okay, maybe that's not the right one. Yeah, no, there was no way I was going to win that. He was being really aggressive that time. Might have also helped if I did the right combo, because I didn't at first. Alright, let's try that again. Easy. And now I'm an Iron Neophyte. If you're wondering what Neophyte means, it pretty much means beginner. Unfortunately, in this game, the levels actually do matter. There's one stage in the game that will only unlock when you become an Edge Master, and I think that's like level 60 or 70. So unfortunately, even if you beat the game, or beat Weapon Master very quickly and don't gain that many levels, you're still, if you're going to 100%, you're going to have to go back and do the same stages over and over to get a lot of experience. You'll find one with a high amount of experience and an easy one to win. Alright, so now we actually get to the point where there will start being effects in the stages, such as this one. Strong gusts constantly push you and prevent you from stopping at the edge of the stage to defeat the enemy under this condition. Now the upside is sometimes these will affect your opponents as well, and this is one of those cases. But not all the time. So this one's pretty much just move around and make sure you don't fall off, or if you're both going to fall off, that you fall off last. So now we have the example of a dungeon. Now we get through the enemy-infested dungeon and defeat the boss. These are more just time-consuming than anything, but it does pay to explore every single room, because sometimes you'll find weapons and the like in there. Also, usually the stages are kind of small. It doesn't seem to be the case here, but some of the stages in the dungeons can be quite small, so there's not a lot of room to move. He's not trying to pull out the boomerang. Unfortunately, Link's equipment is not that great in this game. Thankfully, it looks like, at least in this first one, they're kind enough to heal you fully. Do not expect that later on. Some dungeons, they'll give you a very gigantic timer, and that timer will never increase, so you'll start with like 240 seconds, and you have 240 seconds to beat the entire thing. Yeah, nothing I could have done there. Thankfully, failure does not constitute you having to restart the entire dungeon, because that would suck. Because this dungeon's actually pretty short. It's one of my favorite things to do is if you ring somebody out, just run off after them. So yes, if you see this symbol, this means that there's the boss. So if you've not cleared every room, you may want to avoid going here just so you can find more stuff. Ah, Yoshimitsu. This guy's from Tekken, so you might recognize him too if you play Tekken. Got him. And level up to Bronze Neophyte. I feel like Bronze would be lower than Iron, but, you know, just because Iron and Silver are kind of same color, but I'm pretty sure Silver is another thing that's on here, so. Either way, Yoshimitsu is now playable. Hooray, hurrah, hooroo. He's a very interesting character to play, we'll put it nicely. So going back here, I didn't show this off. Shopping, as you see, whenever you win, or even if you lose, you get a little bit of gold. You can pick up different things here. So I'm going to start with just picking up Link stuff. So you can get the Razor Sword, for example. It's quite nice. It is a Razor Sword. It is from Majora's Mask, and I like it because of that. But if you go to a different place, you might be seeing different weapons, such as right here, the Armor series. I love the not the throwbacks, but the references they put in here. So you can have the Master Sword, the Razor Sword, good offense, offset by a short reach and impenetrable guard. Armor series, offense increases with the Soul Charge, but lacks defense. The Megaton Hammer. As everybody knows from when they watched me do Ocarina of Time, you know I love the Megaton Hammer. And the Cane of Burna as well. From Link to the Past. Good offense, strong single strikes but a short reach, and Cane of Burna recovers health and increases defense with the Soul Charge. I'm going to stick with the Master Sword for now. By and large, I kind of like keeping with his default weapon, though. Their boss defeated in front of their eyes, the ministers looked as though they would attack at any moment, but Chirrut stepped forward and silenced them. You idiots, just how much more do you plan to embarrass me today? He promised them to provide an antidote to the fishermen and agreed to help discuss the situation. I'm assuming at some point they'd been poisoned or hurt. Your mission to mediate the dispute was a complete success. The rest was up to them. It seemed that Chirrut took quite a liking to you. Even as you hurried to leave, he practically dragged you back and insisted that you and the people of the fisherman's village join with him in a feast. The next morning, you bid farewell to everyone and headed out east through the opposite side of the mine. After traveling for some time, you initially caught sight of Bennett Notch in the distance and could feel the change in the atmosphere. The performers and travelers on the road increased in number, and you could hear the voices of peddlers above the noise of the crowd. It was clear that Bennett Notch was a thriving, bustling city. You cannot hold your footing at the edge of the stage. Defeat the enemy with a ring out. Hello, Charade. Now, I don't think you have to beat him with a ring out, but I think he will barely take any damage, and so you're basically forced to, but if you manage to do it some other way, they wouldn't penalize you. You would have to pick Ivy, wouldn't you? So the way this guy works, Charade, is every single round, which you won't see it here because there's only going to be one round. Nope, dang it. Yeah, he would have to pick Ivy, is he'll play as a different character every round. So, like, let's say it was a 3-round fight, he might switch to Keelik, then he might switch to Raphael, etc. He just happened to pick one of the hardest characters to beat in the game, who is Ivy. He can also have a purple eye instead of a blue one for his color change, which is really cool. Yeah, see, now he's playing as Mitsurugi. Marvelous. And now he's playable. I like playing Charade a lot. He was the one character that I didn't mention because playing him really gets you practice with all the characters. So, very good in that regard. So now we can take two different pathways here. So I'm going to start with, I guess, the lower one. Throws are more effective. Defeat the enemy. Well, I like using throws, so. That's a terrible thing to say because, like, I'm pretty sure people that actually do play arcade fighting games like this will tell you the throws are usually not your best bet because they leave you very vulnerable if you fail. Also, yes, it is playing the So what it looks like when it says throws are more effective is just that he blocks a lot of other things more. With 2 seconds to spare. Very nice. So yeah, that'll kick us down here to Shadar, which I believe is an extra stage. Or a sub-chapter, yeah. As you walked along the mountain path leading from Benisnach to Shadar, you can't to understand just why there were so few people who used the passage. It was little more than an animal trail. You made your way south down the path, suffering nicks and scratches from the thick foliage. You learned that this shortcut. You learned of the shortcut from the man with all the luggage in the bar at the entrance to Dufda Temple, I guess. After the fight, he reappeared and told you about it to show his thanks. Shadar was well known about among adventurers, an ancient civilization that vanished long ago, left behind countless ruins in the area, and even in the present time there was still a never-ending flow of travelers visiting Shadar in search of knowledge and treasure. The man explained excitedly that he discovered a new ruin that no one else had seen yet. He returned to Benisnach to gather supplies for exploring it when he got involved in the trouble at the bar. In recognition of his debt to you, he revealed his secrets. As you continued along the path, you eventually came across a half-buried ruin. Your heart began to beat faster. So let's do it. The stone well, this is very fitting for Link, isn't it? From Majora's Mask. Oh, is this Berserker Temple? Oh no. This is not going to be good. If this is Berserker Temple, we might have a tough time with this. You'll notice he didn't start with full health, and for that I'll be ever grateful. Yeah, you'll notice I didn't heal all the way right there. I only took one hit, too. This might be a little rough. But it's times like these you learn to love again. No, it's times like these you'll understand why sometimes you're kind of just forced to be cheap and throw them off the stage. If you're at really low health, you might have to do that a couple fights just to get your health up so you can fight normally. Yeah, so the thing about Berserkers, remember how we saw Astaroth? Well, we haven't seen Astaroth, actually. He's basically another character, Astaroth. The only difference is this guy has more range, more speed, and more power. He's basically better than Astaroth in every single way. And Astaroth is probably one of the easiest characters to beat. But Berserker, not so much. Especially since a lot of times it seems like the attacks where he's like charging, it seems like you can interrupt him. You really can't. Which is weird because that's usually how you stop it, is you either block it or hit it before he can unleash it. But here it's pretty much blocking it. You'll also notice that in terms of experience that you don't get any until you beat the dungeon entirely. Like, I'm getting small amounts of gold, but I'm not getting anything for experience. See what I mean about not being able to do anything? Yeah. That's one of those attacks where, unfortunately, you just kind of have to either take it or get out of the way in time, which is almost impossible to do with his range. So sometimes you notice that there's extra conditions in the levels. This is one of the cases where there's an extra condition actually in the this particular cave, and that is every time you hit the ground, there's an explosion. And you'll see those in the main game, too. It'll say something like the stage has been set with explosives. Which is not the worst condition in the game. There are worse ones. There's one where a bomb has been put on your body, and so if you hit the ground at all, you immediately die. Which is quite frustrating. Got him. Wait up! I promise I won't do that every single time, by the way, the whole grabbing him and throwing off the stage. I don't really feel like it's being cheap, though, if that actual throw did enough to kill them, because at that point they would have died either way, so it didn't make any difference. Though if they're getting a little bit agitated like that, then I'm still going to throw them off. Usually people that play aggressively with their attacks like that guy just did are more susceptible to throws. Anybody who's played fighting games knows that the idea of the vertical, the horizontal, and the kick, they're all kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type thing. As well, in this case, as attack, defense, and throw also have a rock, paper, scissors effect. Where throwing is strong against defense, but in this case, for whatever reason in this game, it's also strong against offense as well. It's not as strong as it is against defense, but it's like, it's still possible. Interesting. So the green aura that's around me is actually giving me health regen. You wouldn't know it because, you know, my health is full, but that might be one reason you'd want to take an extra path, is if you're really low in health and you know you're not going to get that, you're not going to get any like health from clearing a stage, then you might want to try to find an area like that and just let yourself heal. In addition, there's also ones that will give you a purple aura around your character, which will be a poison, where you'll slowly be losing health. I haven't been using that stab enough. I need to start doing that more. So it might have just been that health regen that was over there. I was thinking there might be a weapon, but it does not appear to be the case. I love the echo effect they put in the caves, though. Very nice touch. See, this is probably going to give me a weapon once I get through here. This little bonus thing. And here's a health regen again, so that could also be what it is. I was literally just using that room for health regen. Yeah, a new feature's been unlocked, so if that's the case, it's probably a weapon of some sort. Yes, it is. Acquired, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, a weapon for FIL. Seriously, I'm not even going to try. There's no way I could pronounce that correctly. I guarantee I would get it wrong. I'll go ahead and clear out the whole thing, even though I'm almost certain there's not going to be anything in either of these two rooms. Yeah, no, you're not doing that 3 times in a row. He was lining up for a third one. If you're wondering how to get more gold, by the way, there is another way to do it inside Weapon Master. It's actually a lot of fun to do it. They basically give you gambling stages where, oh hey, here the character's invisible, you can only see their weapon. They'll give you a stage where you can try to beat multiple enemies in a row, and you can stop after you beat the first one, but the more you beat, the more gold you get. But of course, the enemies get tougher. Yeah, just because they're invisible does not mean they're invincible. Next. I wonder what the lowest possible level you could be is when beating the game. Or beating Weapon Master. Now I'm curious. I mean, I've already definitely not gotten that because I've already failed a couple times and gotten experience, so... Another reason I might do this is in dungeons particularly is just because they go on like this for a while. This is actually one of the shorter dungeons in the game. There's one that will start on the bottom left and it will go across every single tile. It's awful. So in the case of finding areas like that, yeah, you know, it's entirely possible I might just try to get through the stage quickly rather than actually do it proper. I'm gonna guess probably another weapon. Yep, side harp weapon for Talum. Another very popular character in the series that never came back, surprisingly. Rather odd that she never did. No. If you're looking for another good character to pull off ring outs if you're playing this on the a version that's not GameCube, Raphael with his Y and R grab, at least on the GameCube controller, would be a Y and R, is a very good option as well. Yeah, of course. Of course. You and your stupid range. Way with you. As if it was going to be anybody else as the final boss, after fighting Berserker in every single cavern. Yeah, there's just nothing I can do there. Haha! Victory is mine! So yeah, that was making the ground shake every couple seconds, which would, you know, stop you from doing whatever you're doing. But if you're like in midair, then it won't hurt you. So I'll add extra team battle mode. You think it'd be Berserker, but no, you'd be wrong. I think Berserker is actually the last character you unlock. It's either him or one other guy that I'm thinking of. Receive heavy damage when knocked against the ground or wall. Defeat the enemy under this condition. And of course, it's this guy again. The Platinum Neophyte, the most powerful of all newbies. And very quickly, while we're still here, I'm hitting the wrong buttons over and over. Yeah, these are all the exhibition theaters, so you can watch them do their, like, you know, kind of show off their movesets. It's just like an AI-controlled video. And it looks like there's nothing new here for Link, so let's keep going. The enemy's weapons have poison, so you will go numb if you're damaged. Defeat the enemies under this condition. This one's kind of a pain. Also, here's Maxi Pad, i.e. Emilio Estevez. I don't remember if the timer resets on this. Okay, it does reset on this. Okay, then I'll fight it fair. Especially because if it doesn't and I only have 40 seconds to beat 3 people, then I'm definitely going to cheat. I do like how it says enemies' weapons, and that, like, includes their kicks, by the way. That's really funny. Now, unfortunately, on a mission like this, if you fail it, and I was on fight 3 of 4, yeah, you're redoing the whole thing. And if you're wondering, wow, 4 people, that's a lot. I think there's one where you have to fight 8 without dying. Thankfully, Max is pretty easy to beat. As long as you don't let him set up for combos, you can usually beat him. Forgot about that combo until I started executing it, and then I'm like, wait, can't you switch that halfway through to another thing? Totally can. Hi, Valdo. And that leaves a person we've not seen yet thus far. One of my favorite characters from the newer games. I love playing as him. Yep, Alfred, otherwise actually known as Cervantes. Not a big fan of him in 2, but man, in 5, like, that was my go-to guy. Also, I don't feel bad about cheating because I noticed his health was regenning. If it's not a fair fight, usually I'll, you know, probably try to throw him off the edge. But if it's a fair fight, if it is a fair fight, then I will, you know, play it fair. But now Cervantes is selectable, Mr. Pirate Man himself. It's been years since I've seen played Soul Calibur this long. Yeah, I know, these games are really good. I'm super stoked for 6. 6 they've been showing trailers for, and it looks really good. It looks like it holds true to this game, and this was my favorite one, so I'm very excited to see Soul Calibur 6. And it looks like there's nothing new for Link, so we'll continue on to Mizar. Yeah, Valdo's another really good pick. If you can use him the right way, he's one of the best characters in the game. After creating quite a stir at the port, you decide to leave the city before the situation grew worse. After making off with a small boat and paddling out onto the lake, you glance back at the town behind you. Despite the number of people there, you weren't able to track down any information about Soul Edge. In the midst of the morning fog, the growing sound of voices drifted out from the city. It sounded like it would be another busy day in the town. You continued a ways further down the lake, but it was obvious that the dinghy would not be able to carry you all the way across. After stepping back on shore, you learned that you were now in a place called Mizar. According to the locals, the larger gate lay to the east, and the passing through it required permission of the guards. You began to grow anxious and frustrated. Not only had you not found any leads to Soul Edge, it now appeared you could not even travel freely across the land. It was then you realized that just how difficult your quest for Soul Edge was. Force the bomb off the enemy with your attacks. You win if the enemy has the bomb when the timer runs out. This is basically a case of hot potato, and it's with assassin. Awesome. So as you can see, he starts with the bomb. If he hits you, then he will give the bomb to you, vice versa. The weapons here are not going to do any damage. This is literally a case of trying to transfer the bomb. And unfortunately he got it, so he wins. He wins. So really there's two strategies. You can force the bomb onto the assassin and then just combo him and keep him down, which is what he did to me. Or you can get the bomb on yourself, try to avoid him just smashing into the ground, and then hit him at the last second and he'll have the bomb on him. That was dumb, I jumped right into him. Bye! And that gets you Money Pit / top tier, the difference there being the walls. I believe in Money Pit the walls are not there. Your health is low. Defeat all the enemies under this condition. Alright, how low is low? We talking like a third, quarter, half. Okay. See if I can lure him back over here. Come here, you. Hopefully I'll get some health for that, please. That's better than nothing, I guess. I'll take it. Oh no, I'm playing this on GameCube. Link is the exclusive character, so I was gonna play through as him. Alright, Taki, let's do this. Bye! But yeah, this is on GameCube. This was released for Xbox, PS2, and GameCube when it came out. And obviously in proper arcades. But your exclusive character will depend on which version you're playing. So the GameCube one's got Link, Xbox has Spawn, and PS2 has Heihachi. I don't know what it would be in arcades. Probably Heihachi, if I had to guess. But I could be wrong on that. The timer increases with each enemy you defeat. Defeat all the enemies before time runs out. Well, Yunsung's not that hard to beat. He's probably one of the easiest people to beat in the game, because his combos are very predictable. The problem is we're fighting 5 people here. $10 seconds, probably. 15 seconds, okay. I was not expecting them to be that generous at the time. Alright, Ivy. Mitsurugi. Here's Astaroth. And there he goes. I want more time when fighting Nightmare, that's why I did that. Nightmare's really tough. Ivy's tough, but Nightmare's also pretty high up there for me. Usually when fighting an AI Nightmare, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to pretty much destroy you, or they're just going to sit there and take it from you. Thankfully, he kind of just took it. Astaroth. Gotcha. Yeah, Astaroth, like, when you play him as a human, he's not bad. Usually when I refer to characters being good or bad, I'm referring to, like, the AI counterpart. So, like, Yun Sung as an AI is terrible. The enemy's favorite vertical attacks that are armed with weapons that excel in breaks. Defeat all the enemies under these conditions. Alright, so I shouldn't guard that much, is what you're saying. And if they prefer verticals, then I need to go with horizontals. Right in the butt. Finally out of Neophyte and into Apprentice. I feel like that could still qualify as Neophyte, but whatever. Acquired Schweizer, weapon for Raphael. It can give you a lot of weapons for Raphael and Talum, just like from the little bonus things I've noticed. I don't think they give you any for Ling by doing those, sadly. Sharon's Pass. Navigate through the booby trap dungeon, defeat the boss. Here we go. Oh no, not this stage. You can probably guess what's going to happen here. It's slippery. Would not recommend going crazy with your attacks on that stage. Just keep it very, very simple. Like, when I say keep it simple, I mean, like, your horizontals, and that's about it. This stage is not near as bad as the ice one, thankfully. I can deal with this. This is just basically sand that will lower you down to about half height, and you can't move as easy. But you can just jump out of it, so... It's funny because it slows down these animations too, though. But yeah, no, it can't kill you, like, proper. It cannot kill you proper. I'll take that over the ice any day. This one's not terrible. It could be, but it's not awful. If you stand there for too long in the ring of fire, then of course it'll damage you. Give you some payback. I was expecting her to survive that. I did not expect her to go flying off the stage there. Oh well. I don't like Cassandra anyway. I think she's very cheap and annoying, so... I'll take Sophidia over her any day. Alright, Taki. And yeah, there's some oddly shaped platforms like this one. I've gotten that regular, like, spin attack to work a lot more than I used to. I used to never be able to pull it off. Mostly because it looks very predictable. Like, you can tell when he's going to do it. Alright, here's Ivy again. And I really don't feel like fighting Ivy, especially not while she's got health regen. That's just a fight I'm going to lose. Alright, I'll play the next one legit. If I feel like I'm doing that too many times in a row, I will start, like, you know, legit beating character. Now, if it gets on to something like the ice stage, there's nothing I can do about it, because then it's, like, I don't think I've ever seen a match won on the ice stage that was not a ring out, so... Maybe they give him last. I think so, but it might just be, like, all of his you have to buy just because he's the, like, character exclusive. Acquired Archeron, a weapon for Cervantes. Like, they don't distribute them evenly. Like, there's some shops in the Weapon Master where you'll find more than one weapon for a character. So I don't think they're going to be distributed evenly. I honestly don't. They could be, though. You mean, you might be right. I have no idea. It's been so long since I played. What? That was not a ring out. I very clearly survived that. Whatever. God, I need to get those emotes and put the glitch one on there already. Can I get some exclamation mark glitch in the chat for that one? Yeah, I say it's a glitch, but I've seen that happen before, actually. I do remember that happening previously. It's dumb, but it can happen. I don't know why it can happen, but it can happen. I think it's just like the quote-unquote ruling registers that it was a ring out, but in the actual game physics, it's like, no, you survived that. Liana, Paladin Knight of Sharon. Ow. Well, even Paladin Knights can get knocked off the stage. So now Sophia is selectable. She's a little bit less cheap than Cassandra. Her moveset's more balanced. And that will unlock Altair. Everyone's favorite Pokemon. Before we go in there, is there any... Nope. But yeah, like you can see there's a Cane of Burna in here for Link and the Megaton Hammer. I've just already gotten them both. Alright, Altair, let's do it. Or favorite Sat. Yeah, that too. Chapter 5, Spirit Sword. You fought with all your might. There was no other response you could have made. I see that you have a strong heart. Nevertheless, the evil that the sword contains is powerful. You do not yet understand its danger. You are filled with the false dream of an ultimate weapon and cannot see the truth. I cannot let you pass. You're not able to pass the gate yet. You were now certain that you were close to reaching Soul Edge. It didn't feel like Leanna was lying. Soul Edge was real, but she also said that it was a terrible, cursed sword. You would later come to accept the truth, and only then would you... it would be only then that you truly closed in on Soul Edge. After returning to the surface, you stopped, I don't know where I got realizing from, and turned suddenly to get a better look at the man who had passed by. Wasn't that the man who had scouted you out before, the one looking for Soul Edge? When you headed back to the gate, a terrible sight was awaited for you. The gate had been sliced into with a single cut of a blade. There was no sign of the swordsman, only Leanna lying collapsed on the ground. Without another thought, you immediately headed for the gate, but stopped short when you heard her voice. He seeks Soul Edge with a terrible darkness in his heart. Someone must stop him. Please inform Altair. Tell them that the first gate has fallen. I know I can count on you. You must hurry. You soon stood at the entrance to Altair, ready to face your own weakness. You must not let yourself be drawn to his power, for it would mean the loss of your own heart. Team up with the fort soldiers and defeat all the enemies. Not a fan of this mission, because... Also, Cervantes versus Cervantes. That's actually pretty awesome that happened. It gives you 2 other characters to start with, so it's a 3-on-3 battle, but that also means you're not going to be used to playing... Like, whoever you've been playing this entire time is going to be different. Crunch. Luckily, I like Cervantes, so that kind of worked out. Normally, it likes giving me Lizard Man, and I hate Lizard Man. I'm terrible with him. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. I know his moveset from 5, not from 2 at all. And I'll be perfectly honest, I have no idea how to play Ivy. Man, she moves stiff. Holy cow. Yeah, I had no chance there. Alright, let's try with an actual character here. Like, okay, what? I didn't even try to grab there. I was holding down the shield button. I was expecting you to shoot, but it wasn't a thing in Soul Calibur 2, was it? I don't think it was, actually. I did find out something that I do remember the last time I played this. Link can actually wall jump in this game. Like, what? It's absolutely terrible and completely useless. It doesn't give him any height or advantage at all, but you can, in fact, wall jump in this game. It's very odd. Hashtag Valdo hype. I'd believe it. Valdo is kind of one of those characters I always wanted to learn how to play, but I always got just distracted by another character I wanted to learn slightly more. I honestly thought that would work, and she somehow managed to sidestep in midair. That's impressive. Yeah, there was nothing I could do. Even when I guarded, it still wouldn't let me do anything. Alright, well, when in doubt, play like Cassandra does. Guys, check it out, I'm Cassandra. Alright, I'll fight the last one legit, but I'm not going to feel bad about killing Cassandra by just throwing her off the edge. Ow. Yeah, maybe that's just a thing. Maybe they just all play differently. Like, one of them's really defense, one's really attack, and one's kind of in the middle. Speaking of attack, extra time attack standard mode has been added. Hooray. That's probably a feature I have never touched in the game. You are your worst enemy. Defeat yourself. If only they could have made the actual Dark Link in here, it would have been so cool. Yeah, it'll just be the palette swap of whoever you're playing as. Can I defeat myself? Can I do it? Can I defeat myself? Oh no, he's doing exactly what I would do! Ow! Yeah, I got hit in the head with an arrow. That wasn't good. Well, I will give him that. He played exactly like I would play. I can never get the arrow to actually hit my opponent while they're in the air. I can do like a forward arrow, but aside from that, I'm useless on those things. Wait, how did that grab not get hit? Alright, whatever. I wonder if you could, like, counter the projectile arrows. Probably not, but it'd be cool if you could. There's a way to do that move correctly, and I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. What? Alright. Ah, oh, dang, I thought I was actually catching up to him there. I think it's the same as Cervantes combo on 5 is different. It might be different just because I'm playing it on a GameCube controller instead of, you know, Xbox controller. Like, I can pull off the combos with Cervantes and 5 pretty well. Like, I can do the pistol sword and all that. For here, whatever reason, I just can't get it to work. The Gold Apprentice. And the class up, which we're apparently going to need. I don't know if I'll end up showing the Edgemaster stuff just because how long it would take. If I wanted to do that, I'd probably switch over to the file where I've got everything unlocked. Acquired Soul Calibur, Evil, a weapon for Xianghua. Yeah, everybody in the game does have Soul Calibur or Soul Edge, like one of those two in their weapon sets. So now Aldebaran, I guess, is available. Let's see what's in the shop before we hop in. Hey, you got the mirror shield. And the magic sword. I don't recognize what that one's from offhand. That's the first one I don't recognize what Zelda title it's from. Reflects attacks but may cause Link to lose balance. And magic sword, good at penetrating defenses but weak against impact. Let's give it a try. But first, Chapter 6, The Second Gate. Not merely pushed along by the flow of events, but rather of your own will, you begin to walk forward. The gate allowed you to pass through with ease. I apologize for deceiving you, but it was necessary. The Altair priest pointed to a sword as he spoke. What you overcame was your own self. Now you've proven the strength of your will. Now take the sword, you've earned it. The sword was of a particular design. It was intricately decorated, and its blade was split in two. It emanated a feeling of purity, yet at the same time you could feel a darkness within it as well. That sword possesses powers both good and evil, the priest explained. The Soul Edge lay sealed in the land to the east. Furthermore, you learned that the sword you now held in your hands was in fact Soul Calibur, the spirit sword capable of defeating the cursed blade. But the people's greed and ambition had weakened the seal, and the evil energy had finally invaded the core of the seal, the spirit sword itself. The guardians of the seal built 3 gates to fortify the seal, and they worked to purify the spirit sword. Everything had been defined for hundreds of years, but someone had destroyed one of the gates. If those bewitched by the cursed sword managed to get their hands on the weapon, the resulting devastation would become unfathomable. And it seemed that you were one of the few people who had the potential to stop it. You will define, believe in yourself. Leanna and I believe in you. The purification of the spirit sword is incomplete, but even so, it should prove useful. You turn your gaze upon the spirit sword. Perhaps the sword would become the key that leads you to Soul Edge. Castle of the Dead. Defeat the enemy within the time limit. Valdo, perhaps? That's definitely not Valdo. 50. That's a lot of time. A close battle saved with the power of the ring out. Mostly I thought I was going to run out of time before health. He didn't take a lot of damage from hits, I guess. The prize money doubles with each win. Gauge your strength and win the matches. Now, the good thing about doing these is I'm an idiot. Actually, that's probably just what we're going to go with. I usually try to go for the highest amount possible. Or that could happen. Sure, why not? Does Link have Soul Calibur evil or regular? In terms of the story that he just got there, I have no idea. In terms of, like, Soul Edge versus Soul Calibur, he actually gets Soul Edge. I think. I think he has one where it drains your health slowly, but each time you hit the opponent, then you get some health back. There we go. So you can end the battle and get 300 or continue and try for 600, which is what I'm going to do. This is an example of me not feeling bad about getting ring outs because I'm doing it for the gold, not to complete the challenge. I don't remember, but I think potentially if you come back here later, you don't get like the same amounts. But I could be wrong about that. Here's Lizard Man, by the way. I don't think we've seen him yet. The downside to playing this way is if I get knocked off the edge, then, well... Like that. Sure, I didn't let go of the guard, but whatever. Maybe I should try guarding with L. I don't think my R button's going, but... I definitely didn't let go of guard there. I was gonna say these look like the same characters, but it looks like Lizard Man's just still in the third slot. Bye! Oh, and your health is not healing this at all. Okay. I have to keep that in mind. Haven't seen that throw before. No. Away with you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die here, but I'm going to try anyway. Because one good hit will kill me here, easily. Like that, even though that was just me getting hit by the shield. So I'd hardly call it good, but either way. Let's try that again. Now that I know you don't heal between fights, I'm definitely going to continue to try to throw people off. Alright. I guess directional influence is just not a thing. So I was holding left that entire time after I got knocked in the air, but it seemed to push me farther away. Well, I'm going to keep getting knocked off. I think I'll just play until I think I can't beat them again. There's one. Maybe the controls are just slow, because I was on that menu right there trying to hit down, and I did it a couple times, and nothing happened. Two. See, I kind of want to make it to the end here, because Necrod's at the end of that list, and we haven't seen him yet. Three. This is not the best spot to earn gold, by the way. There are battles like this later on that will give you more. 4. You don't get more experience for winning more of these, by the way. At least I'm pretty sure you don't. So here's Necrod. I'm not sure what his moveset is. It seems like he pulls like some moves from every character, or at least a couple of characters. Not like Charade where it changes every battle, but that feels like it was a Cervantes move. It feels like he's got some from Astaroth, etc. I'm not sure about that though. The enemy's weapon has the ability to guard break. Oh no, not guard break. Not that thing that I never do. Oh gosh, is this the outfit where she looks like she's really fat? Oh no, it's not. Never mind. There's like a dress that she has that's like really poofy. It makes her look really fat even though she's like super skinny. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, maybe? I don't know. I really honestly don't know much about Necrid. But I do know that Sungbin is now selectable, even though I never use her. If I'm going to pick a ranged character, I'm probably going to take Keelik. And I guess we'll go up. Why not? Guard impact the enemy's attacks. Here's something I never do. This one's actually not that hard, but this is the first one where it'll actually kind of force you to use guard impact. The tutorial kind of does, but you could, you know, kind of stumble your way into it. There you go. Done. You only have to do it twice, thankfully, but, you know, if you know how to guard impact, I guess that's an easy 1,200 experience and 800 gold for you. Enemy's weapon absorbs life. Defeat the enemy under this condition. So this is basically the Soul Edge effect, where if they hit you a lot, they might just get their health back, so you gotta try not to get hit that many times. Here we go. I don't remember if that weapon in particular does that normally for Yunsung. Okay, I was definitely not guarding just then. My hand was not even on the R button. Maybe the guarding's just weird in this game, because I definitely should have gotten hit there. I did not press guard, nor did I make any move to. But extra survival standard mode has been added, and now Maxie can jump in the air with joy. So that's good, at least. I'm glad Maxie can enjoy himself. And another dungeon. Very, very wise words. Yeah, this is one of those dungeons. So you can see the timer's at 200 seconds. That means that timer is never going to increase. Is going to stay at 194, yeah. So I've got 194 seconds to beat the rest of the dungeon. Which means this might be an example of me throwing people off the edge just because I want to make sure I got more than enough time. I will beat the boss legit, but I want to make sure I have enough time to get there. That could be it, maybe. Is if you walk backwards, you'll guard. Ow. No, you didn't. Okay, now you did. They at least refill your health every time, so this is literally just a don't waste your time. And since I want to explore the entire thing, I gotta be quick about this. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen whenever it tried to guard impact instead of grab. That's usually a bad sign. Because the difference is for a guard impact you have to press a directional. You just, with grab, you don't press a direction. Oh good, it's Astroth. He's easy to kill. Get over here. That works too. Bye. Yeah, no, it gives you your seconds back if you die. Like, in any way, even if you fall off the stage, get killed. You'll keep that. Your seconds just remain after you've beaten the room. I was going to say the stage. After you've beaten the room. Alright, Maxie. Show me what you got, MaxPad. Show me what you got. What you got? You got this, Maxie. I believe in you. You totally got this, man. You're on a roll. Look at how far you're going. It's beautiful. I'm gonna guess Taki. Nope, Keelik. Again, I will fight the final, like, the big bad of this dungeon. I'll fight him legit, but I want to make sure I have more than, like, 30 seconds. I'm going to assume this probably loops back around to where the other pathway went. But maybe there's something in here, I don't know. I like how I kept playing that voice clip for her, even though she'd already gotten grabbed. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's probably going to give you, like, the average you should be taking on these fights is, like, 10 seconds, maybe. Stop humping. That's nasty, man. No one wants to see that. I'm going to guess this is going to have a space that's going to go down as well. And that will either be the right way or the way to a bonus thing. And then the thing in the top right will be the bonus. It will be whatever is not here. Ow! Alright, let's try that again. Once more without getting hit in the face. That'll work. Or not. This might be the last chapter I do, by the way, because I kind of want to split Weapon Master into 2 parts, and also I'm getting kind of hungry because I've not eaten today. And it's 5:30 here. Plus, I've got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 other people in the house right now, and so I'm sure they'll probably want to figure out what to do for dinner. I did miss playing this game, though. This is a lot of fun. I've missed playing a fighting game, because I've not played anything for a while. I know, like, everybody and their mother is busy watching Nintendo's E3 Direct for Smash, but, like, I've already seen what I needed to see, and the main person that I've talked to about it was correct in basically saying that everybody was going to complain about it being only about Smash and nothing else, and he was right. What a shock. So it's fun to hear people complain about, like, this really cool new game, Waluigi's still not playable. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so what did that unlock? Halberd, something for Sungmina. Nice. I wonder what would happen if it unlocked, like, a weapon for a character you didn't have. Like, if there was a way to possibly get something for Lizard Man, even if you haven't unlocked him. That'd be really funny. Aight, Raphael. Come on, Fancy Fencer. Out of here. Alright, so we used up half our time. But we've got 99 seconds to beat this guy. Which should be more than enough. Hob with 2 Bs. 2. Oh, there's 2 of them guys here. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I'm dead. I forgot you can't guard well with this weapon. I shouldn't be trying to guard, I should be trying to attack. Let's try that again. Now I didn't want to throw him off the... Alright, fine. Well, I guess the big bad. Maybe I'll just not use that throw at all. Because I like using the throws, but I don't want to throw him off the edge. What? How did... What? Alright, whatever. He might have just knocked me off the stage with that. Nope. There we go. Mr. Marauder of Slaughter. Labyrinth has been added. And I think that's one of those where whenever you select it, you can actually get like a number of shapes. That skull looks very ominous. Alright, so what I'm going to do actually is, since we've got people probably trying to figure out what to do for dinner, I'm going to go to intermission real quick, see what our plan is, and if our plan is to like actually go and get something, or I need to make something, then I'll do that, and we'll end it here. But if we're planning on like ordering something, or they want to wait a little while, we'll do a little bit more. We'll just have to see. And if I've got to, if there's more stuff I have to do, because I don't think I have work tomorrow, actually. I thought I did, but I don't think I do. Then I'll probably try to stream tomorrow as well. I know it's a very stream-heavy week, but at the same time, I kind of want to show that off. So, in the meantime, I will go to intermission. For anybody that's here watching Soul Calibur, if you would like to know what my stream schedule is, you can type in !Discord in chat, or I can pull up the link on screen here in a second, as soon as I find the overlay. There it is right there. You can just type in that link as well, and that will get you the link to the Discord, and that's got all my information for when I stream, and I usually update it at the start of every week for the entire week. In the meantime, though, I'm going to go ahead and switch to brief intermission and figure out what we're doing. This shouldn't take more than like 5 minutes to figure it out, tops. Hopefully. I'll be right back. Send it to the void! Alright, we're back. So, I may or may not have to worry about dinner, but we decided to head to shop for stuff when necessary. 3 of us are going to head out at 6. It is 5:35 right now. So, I say we have time for one more chapter. So, let's do it. Rigel. Chapter 7, Demonic Realm. For reference sake, aside from the side chapters, I believe there's 10 total, so we've done more than half. I can't believe we just lost 2 against 1. Impressive. Hob with 2 Bs and Landbardy, I guess, defeated in battle against you, fell down where they stood and slowly disappeared from view as the water swallowed them. Perhaps Vero guessed that he would face pursuers. His men had been waiting for you inside the underground passage. That could only mean that you were headed in the right direction. Successfully defeating your enemies, you headed for the exit and reached the surface before the water filled the passage. Excuse me. Even compared to the locations through which you traveled so far, Rigel was an especially bleak and desolate area. Despite the abundance of rivers, it was a region of parched earth and scraggly vegetation. From what Bastion and the priest and Altair said, you knew that the cursed sword was not located there, but one could easily be convinced it's allegedly hidden in this hellish land if one did not know better. It was understandable that Vero came here in search of Soul Edge. The image of the gate in Mizar, sliced clean in two, flashed briefly through your mind. It was just a matter of time before you caught up with him. Receive heavy damage when knocked against the ground or wall. Defeat the enemy under this condition. Maxipad! What's going on, my dude? I think the wall does do a lot more damage here. Yeah, way more damage. You eat this. Gets some every time. Except when it doesn't, but you know, that's not important. That's not the stage I thought it was going to give me. I was thinking of a different one, I guess. Neither you nor the enemy can guard against attacks. Oh, okay, whatever. Just play aggressive. Oh! That may not be good. Hey, Leon. How's it going? Go back to Resident Evil where you belong. He didn't put up a fight at all. Holy cow. Just ran him straight through. Well, Phoenix Court / Huangseo Palace has been added. I don't think that stage ever has walls, so I don't know what the difference is there. Either way. Last but not least, defeat the enemy. I'm actually going to read this one because this is going to be the end of the chapter and we've got another 20 minutes here. And that was starting at 5:35 and only took 5 minutes to get to this stage. He possesses a fragment of Soul Edge. In other words, he's the closest to finding Soul Edge, so spoke Leon as he departed. He's not a fool. He doesn't believe that Soul Edge is here. He came here to gain power to destroy the gates. It is said that the key to the gates is the spirit sword Soul Calibur, but no one knows where that is. So he thought of a way to pass through the gates without the key. It's a bit of a gamble, of course. So you finally come. I believe we've met once before at Mizar. Vero slowly opened his eyes as if he'd been expecting you. I assume you've come to stop me, but it's too late. Powerful aura, none like you've ever felt before, emanated from his body. Now that I've acquired the power to break the seal, I have no reason to stay here any longer, but I have a feeling you'll be a nuisance later if I let you live. The ground around Vero burst open and a monster flame appeared. This pet was born from a fragment of Soul Edge, a mere piece of its total power. Isn't it appropriate that your life be put to an end by the power you so long sought after? Versus Inferno, the final boss of Arcade and an extension of Soul Edge itself. It will act like, I believe, it will act like Charade does in the fact it can pick any character in the game to play as. It's always funny when you die, but then you still get a class up from the small amount of experience it gives you. Alright, let's do this. Round 2. I was expecting him to pick Nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. I think in the actual final battle, he will always pick Nightmare for his last form, I think. In arcade mode, when you play against this guy, when you do a third of his max health damage, he'll switch characters, and then he'll switch again when he gets to the final third of his health. Well, you know what? I think we can actually do one more chapter. I didn't expect that to go so fast. Acquired Soul Edge Growth, a weapon for Nightmare. I guess that's the one character that I could say uses Soul Edge and Soul Calibur's Nightmare. And one of Nightmare's weapons is Soul Calibur, but his default weapon is Soul Edge, so. Anything new for Link? The Big Goron Sword, nice. Again from Ocarina of Time. Big Goron Sword, long reach and a good offense, but requires energy to wield. This is not one that damages you over time, it damages you each time that you do a hit to somebody, you take a small amount of damage. I did not mean to pick that. I would much rather take the Magic Sword. Chapter 8, The Third Gate. Dawn of the Final Day. To the east of Aldebaran, I'm just going to start saying the town. To the east of the town lay the Holy Land of Merrick. Here existed the third of the 3 gates that sealed Soul Edge, as well as the Grand Shrine of Merrick, a name with which even ordinary citizens were familiar. Of course, few knew that the shrine was sealing the cursed sword. You experienced a bit of the evil blade's power back in the Forbidden Grounds when you battled against a monster of flame born of a fragment of Soul Edge. You lost track of Varel while dealing with the monster. Not surprising. I keep having to stifle these burps. I've obtained the power to destroy the gate. It was safe to assume that those words meant that he was headed for Merrick. You hurried back to the second gate at the town, which was guarded by Bastion. The gate had been destroyed. Bastion was nowhere to be found. Just as the gate with Mizar, this one was cut in 2 with a single stroke, but this time it also scorched black. You let out a shudder as you recalled your battle in the Forbidden Grounds. Passing through 2 gates and chasing after Varel, you entered Merrick, but the landscape was as far as the idea of a Holy Land. Let me try that again. But the landscape was as far from the idea of a Holy Land as anyone could imagine. The entire area was awash with signs of destruction. Craters of black ash littered the ground, bridges of roadways were destroyed, and pillars of black smoke rose on the horizon. Was this all Varel's doing? So if that dungeon comes up, we'll probably stop there, but I will try to do the rest of these. The timer increases with each enemy you defeat, however the enemy's weapons penetrate defenses. Defeat all the enemies before time runs out. Let's do it. Bye! It's so fun to send them up into the air and then off the stage. That's like one of my favorite moves. It feels so nice when you actually get to pull that one off. Cassandra, I don't think anybody in their right mind would date you. I wonder if I can get the wall jump thing to... Yeah, of course. Oh well. I kind of want to show off that wall jump if I can pull it off. You have to do like the backflip move and then hit a jump again, or your kick move again, right when you hit the wall. I think's how it works. And it doesn't look like the actual roster is going to change. No, that looks the same. Yeah, I may not be able to pull it off just because the angle's kind of weird. Again, it's not good, so wouldn't recommend using it. Alright, next. At Rafael. Oh, I see. Every time he hits me, even if I shield, I still take some damage. Okay, I get you. Either that or that was just what his weapon did. Uh-oh. And that leaves Miss Xianghua, who has a very annoying voice in this game. Seriously, it's very shrill. I probably should have gotten hit by that attack I did whenever I did the spin up into the air. I thought I was not going to have enough time to finish that. I noticed the timer started flashing red and I was like, oh, that ain't good. Thankfully, our crisis is averted. That could have been bad. Alright, we'll start by going up. The ability to knock back the enemy has been increased, but your health decreases over time to defeat the enemy under these conditions. Also, if I do like the baseball bat swing, he's just going to go flying. That sounds cool. Let's see it happen. Provided he will let me do anything at all. That is going to be a resounding no. I'm impressed I got 2 hits on him. Yeah, I feel like with decreased health, a high damage enemy, and the ability to knock back your opponent, they're pretty much asking you to throw him into the water. Because since the character didn't change, I'm going to assume it stays Berserker. Oh yeah, they want you to throw him off. They totally did. They totally wanted you to throw him off. Or not even throw him off, but just knock him off. That had to have been what they expected you to do there. I think this is an additional chapter, but first... Nope, nothing new. We'll stick to Merrick, though, since I've got 10 minutes. Knock the enemy against the wall and utilize wall combos to defeat the enemy. I remember this one being kind of a pain because you actually do have to use like the proper wall combos, like hit them while they're on the wall. Alright, let's try. Let's try actually grabbing them, thank you. This is like the worst character to try to grab because half the time he's like halfway on the ground, so you can't really get him. Yeah, no, there's nothing I could have done there. I don't remember if he switches from Volta to another character or not. I want to say it was Mitsurugi when I beat it last time, but I could be wrong. Nope, it's going to stay Volta. That's not good. It's like the worst person you could have asked to knock against the wall multiple times. Oh, wow, that was actually really easy. I was just bad on that first. I was not expecting it to do like 3/4 of his max health there. Alright, well then. Yeah, here we go. Io's Vase. Airborne time is increased due to the blast of wind from below to defeat the enemy using air combos. This was built for Link. You'll see why whenever we start. This stage was built for Link. One hit, technically 2, but 1 move. It is built for Link to win. Enemy's health recovers over time. Defeat the enemy under this condition. That's not good. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Home run! Booyah! If it had been Normal Nightmare, Probably wouldn't have done that, but health regen over time? No. A new costume for Nightmare has been added. This is quote-unquote his Siegfried one. It's the one that makes him look most human anyway. And then we'll add a new area, Algol. For those of you who know there's Soul Calibur 4, that might sound familiar, but let's have a look and see if they've got... Oops. Nothing new, and I think I already checked Pollux. Yep, I already checked Pollux. Okay. So if that's the case, since I gotta head out, we will end things off here. Thank you all very much for watching Soul Calibur 2's Weapon Master. I will probably finish off Weapon Master week from today. I would get, like, it'll be sometime next week, likely. It may not be exactly a week from today, but I think I will fit this into the schedule to complete it next week. Because it was a lot of fun playing it, and I forgot how much I missed playing Soul Calibur. So, thank you all for watching. Again, !Discord will get you the link to my Discord. You don't have to be a follower, subscriber, or anything like that. But of course, by following, you will be able to be aware when I go live, and the Discord will get you the link to my schedule for the entire week. As it stands for this week, I believe we are going to be doing Jagbox on Friday, Dokapon on Saturday, and something else on Sunday that I'm not entirely sure what that will be yet, because I don't remember offhand. Regardless, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, and have a good rest of the day. Make sure you actually go to bed on time. Don't be like me. Don't go to sleep at 4 a.m.